Hey, good afternoon, early evening. Laurent, how you doing? It has been a while, yeah. Gary, how you doing? Lee Waterton, evening or afternoon, sir. And Sway Band. I know. Yes, I have a feeling I knew who that is. How you doing? Yeah. Hi, Mike. Good to see you on here. Janet Whitley Art, hey up. Janet Whitley's not in the base cabin today. She's actually doing something really nice. She's down cooking some lovely food. I don't know if I'm allowed to have any, but that's what she's doing. So, yeah, hope you're all well. How's the picture and the sound? Is it everything coming through clear enough? How are we doing? Hi, Scott. Hi, Janet. So there's a lot of highs to you, Janet. I'm glad you're watching because you can be involved from afar. Janet was really good because she'd stopped me from having to do this, you know, and look at the screen. And I was being a bit lazy. She'd read the questions for me. How you doing, David? All right. Oh, nice one. So it's looking all right. Hi, Kevin. Good to see you. So yeah, I thought I'd do a live stream just to kind of. Couple of reasons, really. One is, and this is all kind of part and parcel of this update video, so I'll get into more of this in a minute. Excuse me. But yeah, there's been a lot of kind of change in direction. Some of you who follow me on Facebook and things like that will kind of know some of this stuff. But I thought I'd go into a bit more detail. And yeah, basically, I've kind of, you know, got a new goal in mind, really, which is to really get this YouTube channel, you know, really sort of raise the subscriber base and all the rest of it, really build it. That's what I'm trying to say. And with that, you know, I'm going to be doing things like releasing a video every week on the same day, which I'd kind of chosen just off Google Analytics and all that kind of stuff. Oh, Greg, nice that you could join us, mate. You'll have to let me know what's going on, man. Got a few more in. Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. It's up to you, what you want to call it. But anyway, where was it? Yeah. And so with that in mind, with kind of like the regular videos each week and all the rest of it, since I kind of made that decision to do that, the first thing I did was have a major kind of turnaround in here. So, I mean, I hope you like the way it looks. But I decided I wanted to turn, you know, my part of the base cabin, actually 2/3 of the base cabin, sorry, Jan, into a set, you know, into something that works for, it looks like a YouTube set, you know, it doesn't look like I've just thrown a camera on. So I thought I'd just get that in place from the word go, and then I can just concentrate on content. Well, everything went wrong, you know, like every single thing along the way went wrong. You know, I bought lights. Everything was done, of course, on the cheap because of the current situation. I got some nice lights that illuminate all the individual bases. These little cheap LEDs look great, you know. And then I thought I'll do a test video, and they're all flickering and you know. So just everything was kind of like that. Yeah, so that took a long time, and a lot of stress and a lot of like days staying up really, really late. And then, of course, on top of that, I've got the Indiegogo campaign. So if anybody out there doesn't know about that, I'm releasing an EP, or it's kind of been released privately, if you like. Yeah, so I did a fundraiser on Indiegogo, and of course that's now finished. And so now I've got the job of, you know, like finish all the artwork for the CD, and there's a single and stuff. I'll put a link, actually. In fact, I'll put a link there now, in case anybody doesn't know about this. Hang on. One sec. The wonders of copy and paste, eh? And I think I'll pin that, actually, to the top, so that should stay in view. Look at me, pinning things and everything. So, yeah, I'm kind of losing track here. So, but yeah, basically, there's been like an awful lot to do. Not complaining, great. But it's been frustrating because this goal of releasing a video every week, I've not even been able to get near it yet. So I decided this week to go live and not miss another week, because this would be like 3 weeks, you know, which was getting quite depressing. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Let me just have a look. Oh, WBDIY, he's in the house. Good man. And who else have we got here? Let's have a look. I think I know him as well. How you doing, Zane? Nashville. Nice one. I'm a little bit jealous, got to be honest. Jose. Janet Whitley Arts. Scott has been so busy working on the EP campaign. Yeah, it's nuts. It really is. It's crazy. And of course, you know, I'm doing a lot more Skype teaching than I would be normally as well. So not complaining at all. It's all brilliant, but just explaining. So what I will say is this is just a kind of general catch-up. So it can be a Q&A. Please, you know, if you've got any questions, whether it's related to the EP, whether it's bass related, you want to know where my hair's gone, whatever it is, we can do that. So I'll chat away, but I'm going to keep looking out for questions. How you doing, Eva? Good evening. See what I did there? So yeah, let me see if I can show you a little bit of the setup here. I've not got a mobile camera. Let's see if this works. Right. So there you go. So I mean, this is a bit nerdy and a bit geeky, and all the viewers might disappear any second now. But let me just kind of talk you through this current setup, because I'm definitely going to do some videos on how I make YouTube videos, how I live stream as well. Because what I wanted to do, I'll come back to this in a minute, with this setup was have one setup that I can use for Skype lessons. I can use it for live streams, interviews, which I did, you know, the Nathan King one the other week, which was really well received. And there's going to be like loads more of those as well. I want it to be a setup I can use to actually make my YouTube videos as well. So it's like one setup for everything. So just can come down, sit down and work. And that was the idea. So yeah, let me show you what's going on here. Sorry if this is a little boring. So first of all, we got up here 2 monitors. One of them's actually PC. That's an all-in-one PC. I'm going to stop nerding out in a minute, guys. Don't worry. And that's just another monitor. I've got it just kind of mirroring just for this live stream. And then over here, I've got another PC, the laptop. And the deal with that is that I can, you know, if I want to, you know, show people either in the live streams or on my videos or Skype lessons, I can show you on the screen. So that is all about. I didn't want to be running all that stuff on the same PC. And I've also got the facility to play music, of course, from this PC as well, without, as I say, without interfering with any processing that's going on over here and stuff. So that's that. This is just like my little keyboard for, you know, I use it for drum programming. I did that on 2 tracks on the EP. My audio interfaces are there. Let me see what else. This is my little B1 pedal that I use for for everything. I use it for teaching. I don't use it for recording, but I use it for Skype lessons. I use it for YouTube videos because it's got a tuner in it. It's got a drum machine, hey-ho, and all that kind of stuff. This guy does things like turn lights on and off, so I should be able to turn my main light off here. There we go. Look at that. Sexy, isn't it? Yeah, that guy over there is my A10 Mini. That switches the cameras. Like I say, I'm going to come back in a minute out of this nerd world. And this, right, I'm not going to go into how this works, but this is doing two things. It's controlling this software, which is called OBS, which I'm actually coming through right now. So I can do things like this, and you cannot see my bass. Why is that? There you go. That was smooth, wasn't it? Come into focus. There you go. And so what it actually did is switch cameras, or should have done, on there. So if you watch, hang on, let me show you again over there. Yeah, it switches that thing to camera 2, and it also switches a scene on here. So I've got that nice overlay, and then back to me. There we go. And other stuff that's been happening. So like I say, all around the room, there's all that, this lighting, took a lot of working out, and a lot of getting just right and stuff. So be really keen to know what you think of it. And yeah, the other thing I've been doing is up over here. I've got a little monitor, which when I'm doing, well, I noticed when I did the interview the other week with Nathan King, I was kind of like looking down here a lot, So I've got a monitor there, so it kind of looks like I'm looking straight into the camera. And yeah, I mean, I think that's about all my setup. So has everyone gone? Have you all gone? Let me. No. There's more. There's more there. Don't worry. I'm not going to nerd out more. So what do you think, guys? Does the setup look well? I mean, I know content is king. It's the content that matters. But I want to provide a good service. I want something that looks good. So yeah. Have you got any packages on lessons? Right. So that's the next thing. Zane's asking, do I do any packages of lessons? I'm not sure whether he's asking about one-to-one Skype lessons. I don't think he is, but just while we're on there, I do, particularly at the minute while I've got more time-ish, one-to-one lessons over Skype. And that's going really, really well. I've got 2 days where I teach mainly, which is like Wednesday and Saturday. And there's not a lot of space left. But if anybody fancies doing some Skype lessons with me, they can be bass, theory, they can be on tech stuff if you like, anything. Then I'm running an offer on those at the minute at because I normally charge $80 a lesson during kind of regular times, and the main reason is that I haven't got time to do a lot of teaching. But at the minute I'm doing a deal, and they're a lot cheaper. So if you want to get in touch on that one, if you're interested. Drop me a message. You can email me on scott@scott-whitley.com, and we can sort that out. But lesson packages, that's another thing. I had a conversation with, I'm just going to say who it is, another of the bass kind of guys that's on YouTube, Mark from Talking Bass, and he's a lovely guy. And I was feeling a little bit kind of lost, kind of unsure whether, I should really go for it with the YouTube channel. And he kind of really reassured me that I should. And he gave me a lot of, really good ideas and things I should be doing. And one of the things is actually to create courses, downloadable courses, like a slap bass course, things like that will obviously be a lot more personal and in detail than the videos that I put on YouTube, although they'll always exist. It's just I can go into more level of detail. And yeah, so that's something to look out for. That's probably what I will start with because a lot of people know me for that slap thing. So I'll do probably like a beginner, intermediate and advanced downloadable slap bass course. So look out for that. That's going on. I'm also working on a thing called, I think I'm going to call it Bass Harmony Essentials, which may be a bit misleading, I don't know, but it's going to be like a download that's free that basically has what I consider the essential scales and arpeggios and things like that. And unlike a lot of things where they just kind of like reel these things off, I've talked about why I think each one is important, what the way that I use it and stuff. So look out for that as well. Right, let me have a catch up on you folks down here. What do we got here? Hang on. It's a bit. It looks complicated. It does. It's like a sort of visual representation of the inner workings of my mind, isn't it? What we got here? Twitch streaming. Yeah, this is the other thing. And I don't know if you're into actually doing that, Lee, but anybody that's done this kind of thing, I'll be much more grateful if you if you wanted to share any tips. But one of the things that I think is a good thing to do when you're live streaming, and a lot of people are doing this now, is streaming to multiple platforms. There was a thing I was looking at last year called Restream, so hopefully I can do that. So I'll, I think the idea is I appear on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, where I did actually set a Twitch up, Lee. I think you maybe advised me to do that last year. Cheers, Anthony. I thought it was you. I knew it had to be one member of said crew. What else have we got here? That's very, very kind, Zane. Yeah, so he said, he's happy I'm doing this, and very kindly said I'm one of the most reliable teachers on YouTube. That's really, really nice. So, I'm not, anyone that knows me knows I don't tend to sort of speak highly of myself, but the feedback that I've got over the years from the YouTube channel, from this channel, is really good. People come to me and say that the content really helps them and all the rest of it. So I feel like I've got something decent to offer. But where I ended up with, and I actually spoke a bit about this before lockdown. I was so busy touring and all the rest of it that I kind of lost my way a little bit, and there was never any time to do YouTube videos and things like that. And so I got really into photography, and so much so that it almost started to become something that I saw as maybe another career, something I could do alongside touring. And the weirdest thing happened when lockdown started. The photography stopped. I hadn't taken my camera out in a year. And what did happen is my kind of passion for just sitting and playing bass at home, which had kind of gone, oddly, has really come back, and so much so that I've actually made the, I think, quite brave decision to sell almost all my photography gear. And because I just see it as a subtraction, as a distraction from what I want to really do, which is the bass channel, So yeah, it's definitely really at the forefront of what I wanted. It always kind of has been, actually. He said, thank you again, Zane, about the 12-bar blues lessons. Very, very kind. Like your wedding, I just saw like your wedding band. I thought, well, yeah, thank you, but it's a few years since we did that, actually. But wedding band tattoo. Did the same thing, right? Yeah, well, so the tattoo thing, it's a bit overblown there, isn't it? I can't, but yeah, you can't miss it in the bass videos. That all came about because I'm such an airhead, I lose things all the time, and I thought, well, I'll get one tattooed, I won't lose that bugger. Hot Shropshire, nice one. What's happening with the SWB1 basses? I don't know, to be honest. I don't really have any involvement with the production of them, Gary. And Gary, someone's asking about these guys. That's my signature bass. What I do know is, if I'm presuming you're asking about, I presume there's some kind of delay in the production or something. But I do know, I've spoken to Stephen Chown quite a few times, who builds them actually. And in fact, we did a few Skype lessons. I was teaching me a little bit of bass. And yeah, there have been, like, obviously because of lockdown, COVID, like massive issues, and Brexit as well. You know, just daft things like things arriving in the country, not being able to get into port, the ship having to go, well, we've got to go, you know, and then dropping stuff off in Europe somewhere, and you know, so I know it's just been insane. So, but yeah, Stephen, or you know, writing to Chinese based direct is probably your best bet, because that's all I do anyway. You know, I don't really have any involvement. Sorry, Gary, but I do know that everything, you know, he's working as hard as humanly possible to get things going, moving. What's this? Uff, David, I'm not speaking to you anymore, but it's all right. I'm doing it as well. He's saying he's been unfaithful to his SWB1 base, the thing I'm just talking about, which is something I've been doing a little bit. What's he got? A cat base. Sounds nice. Oh, yes, I've seen them. Very cool. Yeah, I've been playing all kinds of different stuff throughout lockdown, just having fun. This is a great base, this Jackson, you know. So let's have a see if we've got anything else. It's quite unique. We think, yeah, they are very unique. Yeah, they are. So don't forget, if you've got any questions at all, just drop them down here. And hang on, I'll have a go. So, one sec. So yeah, as I say, once a week on a Sunday, I'm going to be releasing a video, and I'm just sorry. Let me just delete this thing here. Now, my Google Analytics tell me, right, that Sunday evening is the most busy time for my channel, right? So, and it also suggests that I drop the videos 2 hours before that busy period. So that is 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. What do people think about that time? Because I really want to pin it. I want to choose a time and pin it down, and that's going to be it forever. You know, like that is the time, that is the day. I know it's a little bit earlier for the guys in America, guys and gals. So, you know, maybe I could pull it back to 6 or even 7. I don't know. Never been a better time for short scale plays. No, Mike Batch. Do you know, I really honestly believe that, and this is going to sound awfully up my own backside, but I do believe that we, you know, created, you know, with this SWB1 thing, a real wave. Because when I first designed the short scale base, the SWB1, nobody was interested. I touted it to loads of manufacturers. It's too niche. Nobody wants a short scale. And then, you know, I made it on my own. And now everybody's making the buggers. So, I don't know. Could be coincidence. Maybe not. Are you using a Stream Deck, Scott, if you know how I was finding it? Yes, I am using a Stream Deck, actually. So somebody's asking, Lee is asking, I like this. He's asking techie stuff. So I've got a little Stream Deck. It's the medium-sized one, I think, down here. And the weird thing about it is, Lee, I'm using a Stream Deck to do things like turn lights on and off and things like that. But this guy here is running something called Companion, Bit Focus Companion. You can't quite see it. There you go. And it looks like a Stream Deck, but on a screen. And it's a bit of software that you can use with a Stream Deck, and you can do like extra stuff. So it's very, very cool. So one day I might get the bigger Stream Deck, and you can split it. You can use half with the Stream Deck software, I think, and half with Bit Focus Companion. So yeah, it does work really well. I'm using it for camera switching and things like that. So here we go. Here we go here. Thanks for your lessons. I love the animals and this song to get me started. Is there an easy... So someone's asking, Pete's asking, easy song to get started on the animals repertoire. Well, I would say probably House of the Rising Sun. Can you believe it? It's probably 6 years since I've played that. But it's kind of like a... doesn't do that. I'm just being daft. But yeah, it's quite a straightforward line, is that? So that'd be a nice one. It's a real feel thing. I never actually play stuff like that exactly like the record. When it's just a feel thing like that, I do my own thing. But I think that's the gist of it. On the record, it's Pete. It's kind of like sustained, notes like that. So that'd be a good one. If you want to go the other extreme, stuff like we got to get out of this place and stuff like that, like. It's quite a tricky line to play. It's not ridiculously tricky, but playing that for like the entire song, it gets a little bit taxing on your left hand, So yeah, maybe I should do some lessons on this stuff. Maybe that'd be good idea. Some YouTube videos. You got a short scale Richwood, right? So the same Pete's also saying he's got a short scale Richwood, which is the bass that started all the SWB1 thing. It's this little bass that I got. I wonder if we could put one up on the screen. Let's have a go. Let's do some technology stuff. Here we go. Probably not, but by the way, I'll talk a little bit in a minute about me new EP and what's going on with that. Who knows about that? Anybody didn't know I was bringing an EP out? And a vinyl single, to be fair. Let's have a see. There we go. That's one. That's mine. It's a picture of mine I found on the net. Here we go. So there you go. So that guy there. Yeah. Let's see if we can open it in a new window. Yeah. So that, Little Richwood, like that one. I guess he's got. Hope so. Very cool. Right. Let me find. Where have you gone, live stream? I've lost it. Ah, there you are. Right. I've got to ask you inevitably. What was the hardest bass line to learn? So Lee Waters is asking what the hardest BC line was to learn. So it's a tough one to answer because none of them I found that hard to actually learn technically. Playing them wasn't a problem. What was more of an issue was working them out. Like actually being able to hear what Tony was playing in those early mixes, and remembering them. Because any of you that out there that play, which is a lot of you, obviously, some songs. So let's say like let me think now. 60s songs are like I don't know. You can have a think of a song. There's millions. I can't think of a song. But anyway, you've got let's say Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Let's do that one. Right. So you've got like your verse. You've got your intro. Is it right? And then the verse starts. Kind of thing. And each verse is the same. So you learn one verse and then you've nailed it. You've got all the verses. Then you think, right, that's verses, chorus. And then you find the chorus and you play the chorus. And then that's it. And then there's usually a middle eight as well. And then that's you sorted. And often like there might be a solo, guitar solo, and that's the same as the verse. Easy. You can learn a song in like 5 minutes a lot of the time. But with excuse me, with big country stuff, not the case at all. Just like really out there arrangements. Like every verse is different. There's a different bass part going on, and it's just a lot to take in. A lot to kind of memorize. So yeah, they were all pretty hard. And then Bruce would sometimes say, "We're going to do this song." He said, like it wasn't one where Tony went too crazy in a good way. And I'd be like, oh, great. And then I put it on and he'd be like, well, sounds crazy enough to me. The hardest one was probably, I don't know, some of that stuff off the Seer, I think. You know, probably like almost in equal parts. Most of it was just a lot to take in and a lot to learn. But very, very enjoyable to play. So sorry I can't be more specific about that, Lee. But I got it down to an album at least. You play short scale. Nice one. CHB1, I've had 3, actually. Me being the bass tart that I am. I love watching your practice and demos videos. What equipment do you use to combine backing music and hoping? So I think what you're asking is, Chuck here is asking, I think I'm reading this right, what I use for practicing, I think. You know, when I'm playing, what do I use? And what I do is I use that thing. It's called a Zoom B14, and I just have it sat on my desk all the time. And I just plug my bass in there, and then when if I'm practicing, the sound just comes out of my monitors actually. Yeah. So, but what I can do at any time, I can just hit this button and put a drum rhythm on. You know. And then so that's what I use to practice with. I hope that's what you mean. And by the way, any bass players out there, really big on use a drum machine all the time when you practice. I'm more and more getting into this, you know, to preaching about this almost. Because the thing is, well, I could go on for ages about this, but the thing is, if you just go on YouTube and search for isolated bass track, I mean, anyone, you should do this. It's really, really fun. You can do it with vocals, isolated vocal track. The word is isolated bass track, and listen to some of the greats, some of the great bass players, right? Listen to their bass line on its own, and it's a shocker, you know, because the tone of the bass guitar, particularly when it's played in anger, you know, when it's really, people put a lot of feeling and stuff. When you hear it on its own, it kind of sounds crap. Bass kind of sounds rubbish on its own, right? And when you think about it, you know, if you're practicing without anything, just sit here going like this, you know. Whatever you're playing, you know, like clacking and bits of buzz and things like that, you know. It's if like listening to the greats doesn't sound great on its own, you know, then surely that's not a pleasing sound for us, you know, as players to be listening to ourselves. But you add something in, you know, you add the drum machine in there. Hang on. And then all those little clicks and things like that all make sense. Clicks and things. They all make sense, you know. It's all part of the percussion of what you're doing. So I think that basically rewards you, if you like. It makes you feel better about what you're doing. So the Seer, such a great album indeed, and some fantastic bass playing on there too. Ratsis, we finish your test drive of the Boss S. Right. The yeah, well that's going to happen sometime this year. There's an awful lot to get through, but it will happen. Yeah, definitely. What else have we got here? I'm going to talk about the EP in a minute. Let me see. I just don't want to miss anybody's questions. What's this here? I got the link for the EP download a few days ago. Honestly, I really am surprised how good it is. I was worried. I nearly didn't want to finish that sentence then. I knew it would be good. A great variety in the songs. Hopefully there will be a full CD sometime, and there will. Got some really cool ideas for the album as well, actually, including my dad. Actually, he doesn't know this, but my dad wrote a song. I don't know if anyone on Facebook caught this a few weeks ago. He found a recording of a song he wrote like 30 years ago or something like that, and or near enough. And it was just like a cassette recording. And he sent it to me, and because I said I might be able to clean it up and make it sound a bit better, restore it a little bit. And I couldn't help myself, and I ended up putting like drums on there, bass guitar, some acoustics, and I did clean it up and stuff. And it's a great song, so I think I'm going to do a version of that on the album, but like swing style, with the double bass back here, and my friend Greg Harper that's just been on there. Hopefully he can help me with the, he said he would. Hopefully he can help me with the string arrangements. So that's going to sound great. Diana Krall sort of style, if anyone's into that. And also, sadly, my wife's brother passed away shortly ago, and he was a really, really prolific writer. And I thought it'd be really fitting to do one of his songs on the album as well. There's a lot of other stuff that I already had planned. So let's see what we got here. Happy Easter, by the way, everybody. I did mean to say that earlier. Let's have a look. By the way, the old eyes, I need new glasses. I've not been, I should have gone last year, but lockdown kind of put pay to that. Looking forward to the signed vinyl. Will you be playing with Big Country once shows? Yeah, yes, I will, Ian. Yeah, I'm still, unless otherwise notified, I'm still on board with the band. Have I played a Sterling Stingray short scale? No. Interestingly, I used to have a Music Man Sterling, which is like the really expensive kind of like their sort of jazz take, if you like, on a Stingray. But no, I've not. I bet they're quite good, actually. Let's have a look. What else we got here? The signature pick idea. I should do that. Yeah, someone was asking, did I explore signature picks? Like my own signature plectrums, but I haven't got any as yet. So I will look into that. What else we got here? Like your approach to groove, first rhythm, yeah, kind of thing. Yes, Adam. Yeah, Adam's saying that because I've got this thing going on at the minute about talking about music in terms of groove first and then the notes kind of thing, which is not strictly true, but it kind of is, in that you can create great music without a knowledge of pitch, with just good rhythm. And so if you're getting into playing music and improvising, where you can kind of just like making lines up on the spot and things like that, particularly, thinking rhythm first is really, I think it's where it's at. I think it's the phrasing of the notes, because you got a lot of times people will go, so do you improvise, and then like, you mean like this, and you get kind of, and it's like, well, not really. No, I meant more like a, so like it. What I'm trying to say is, I think a lot of people think that improvising is just flailing a load of notes, but to me, it's the rhythm that's king, and then you apply that to notes, if that makes sense. Right, what else have we got here? Sorry about going quiet. This is where Jan was superb. She was there. She was my question reader at Ask Her Thinger. Oddest time, jamming, improvising. I can lock in with the drums, playing roots, and occasional cutting. Anything to do with... So, right, okay, so is it Ava or Eva is asking about kind of what I was just talking about, playing what we call bass fills. So, if you're kind of grooving along to something, slow that down a bit. So if I was just playing over a G... So she's saying, is it she? I hope so. Good at doing that, completely locked in. But then when it's time to do something like this, down. that sort of thing, what we call a fill, a bass fill. It's what I was just saying earlier. You know, think the rhythm first. So basically, do things like in a loop. Do like 4 bars. That's 4 counts of 4. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, and on this one, right, on that 4th one, see if something comes to you rhythmically without even playing. You can either kind of beatbox it, play it on your knees or whatever. Don't bother about the notes. Just think of a rhythm, and then keep going round until you lock into something. This is something to do in practice time, by the way. And then once you've got something, play it on that root note. So check it out one more time. Dank down, dank down, down. And once you got it locked in, try and play it on that one note, you know? And then once you've got that down, then just choose a scale that fits over the chord. I'm oversimplifying it here, really. And think of those notes as like tom-toms. And just hit any of them with that rhythm, right? Check it out. Dum, 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 dum. Now, I completely forgot what the rhythm was, actually. But you get the idea. So try that. That was a really, like, quick, shortened version. All right, we'll go here. Scott, listen to the download. Has a Jamiroquai, Earth, Wind and Fire feel to it. And it's growing on me. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Adam. Very, very kind. Right. So, Steve Harris has a totally unique way of playing. How do you rate him? And could you replicate the sound and style? So, yeah, it's really funny. I'm not really. I wonder if I dare. See, the trouble is, if I'd like to pull up some Steve Harris lines right now, but I know YouTube will just shut me down because it'll go, wait a minute, it's not yours. So, I'm going to be completely honest. He's never been a player that's been like on my radar, you know, like I've never, I don't mean that in a bad way because there are so many players. We can't all be into all of them. So yeah, he's not someone that I've really tried to emulate or whatever, but I will give that, I'll give that a go because this is the thing. A lot of the times, you know, we all listen to the music and the players that we're into. And sometimes it's good just to kind of veer off and it's like, for example, again, viewership dip warning, right? But lately, there's been 2 albums that have been playing again and again and again for months, right? And it's not new stuff. Well, one of them is actually. One of them is a guy called John Schlitt. He's an artist from a band called Petra that I've been into a long time. And he's released a solo album, I think it was last year, and it is phenomenal. It's all kind of Nashville musos. It sounds like it anyway. I think he's from Nashville. It's just nuts. So I've been listening to that a lot. But the other album is, it's The Greatest by Duran Duran. It's like Duran Duran's greatest hits. And I wouldn't be seen dead listening to Duran Duran like 30 years ago, you know. It was like, no, this band that all the girls listen to and, you know, it's not cool and, you know, I'm a bloke. But you know what? It's phenomenal, man. The songwriting, the playing, I just love it, you know. So what I'm saying is, just somehow, you know, I ended up like down this avenue. I was probably listening to some Level 42 and then it just came on after on YouTube Music. And yeah, so I'm like really wanting to do some like Duran Duran like bass cover things, maybe lessons, but he's done a lot himself actually, hasn't he, during lockdown? So that might be covered, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, just talking about Steve Harris. See, I'll go away and listen to this now, and it might just open up a load of stuff in my playing, and then maybe I can help share that with other folks. Let's have a look. So, no, I don't think there's any new questions come in. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Rio, Astounding Bassline. It's great. It's proper good, as they say in Burnley. And I'll tell you what's another phenomenal song. I wish I could play this stuff, but like I say, YouTube will flag it up for copyright thingy. in a second, in a heartbeat. Ordinary World is just nuts. It's just such a bloody good song. And, you know, there's some clever stuff. There's this little motif that goes on there's like a drop-down verse, and there's this little this little hinty of a thing going on. And then at the end of the drop-down verse, this little hinty thing builds up over a couple of octaves, and then it goes into the chorus, and it's just mad. Anyway, there you go. So, right, let me, this is going so fast. What time are we on now? Let me see, how long have I been live? 45 minutes? That's crazy. Right, any more questions? What's this? He did a few, but stopped months ago. All right. Yeah, well, I might do some, because I might do a little Duran Duran series or something like that. Stevie's Ace. Yeah. You see, it's just really funny. It's what backgrounds you come from, isn't it? You know, just listening to different players. I mean, I got into it because, I mean, early on I was into the Police and the Who. But then when I got serious about playing, and the Beatles and all those 60s bands. But when I got into actually playing, I got really into Level 42 and Stanley Clarke, and just really wanted to do that thing, that kind of solo bass thing. So that became my kind of like world, if you like. I always honed in on those kind of players like Jaco Pastorius and Stu Hamm and Billy Sheehan, although I don't play like him, you know, like I loved what he was doing and still do. And yeah, so a lot of those kind of, you know, the more rock players, the rock stuff that was into tended to be more like, you know, like Steve Vai and Whitesnake. No, not so much Whitesnake actually, but I do love the slip of the tongue. Who else? You know, Dave Lee Roth, Van Halen, you know, that sort of stuff. You know, which is, I think people consider it a little bit more, I don't know, muso-y, I guess. But it's not as gutsy, I guess, is it? I don't know. But that's the stuff I was listening to. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for the tips, guys. I'm going to go on. I mean, there's so many artists I've never. I'm sure we're the same. There's probably some of you guys haven't listened to like a lot of the players that I listen to as well, and it's always worth, like you say, stretching out. What else have we got here? Okay. Oh, what's that? What's this? Played the whole. So Lee's saying there's a guy that played the Rio album from start to finish in one go on YouTube. That's impressive. The bass lines, right? Yeah. What's that? So someone's asking about the blues scales you explained has so many ways to open up the fretboard. Can you talk about that? Yes, I can. And just repeating earlier question. Oh, here we go. Have you tried the... Hang on, the SBMM some Stingray. So what? Can you elaborate on that, Mike? I don't really know what that is. Is that Mike Batch is asking about a certain bass, and I don't know what he means. And I understand the Stingray involved, and I'm guessing SBMM is to do with pickups configurations. I'll come back to you if you can drop, you know, like another thing in, Mike. Sorry, 80s fretless like Pino Palladino really got me into the bass. Yeah, me too. I remember. So someone's on about Pino Palladino and that kind of like fretless thing. And he had such a beautiful approach, well, still does, to stuff in the 80s on the fretless. And yeah, I remember there were like two kind of avenues that I wanted to go down. One was I wanted to get really good at the slap thing and all that. And the other was like that fretless thing really spoke to me as well. So those are two things I really worked a lot at early on. So, right, let me just get back to that blues scale. You explained so many ways. The blues scales you explained, has so many ways of opening. Can you talk about that? So, I guess it. So, Adam, I guess he's asking about the blues scale. Is that's the blues scale, right? And he's asking about it. It is a bit of a study. I could talk for an hour. I could talk for hours on that on its own, right? So I'm not going to do. But just really quickly, for those that don't know, the blues scale is, it's probably like the most commonly used scale for starting to get into improvisation, jazz and funk and stuff like that, So I probably do some. No, I will do some more lessons on that. And I've been doing some private tuition lately, and we have been talking a lot about the blues scale, because there are these really subtle things. Well, let me just talk the tiny bit about it. Right, there's this note here in the blues scale, right, which sounds like Hendrix, right? It's called a flat 5. It's in the blues scale. And it was banned, was that interval, by the Catholic Church. I think they called it the Devil's Interval. And that, along with like a flat 2, I think that's like a lot of your metal stuff. That's why it sounds so kind of evil. But that note, with a little bit of work, and this note here, with a little bit, you play around with that note, and that's what really gives you that kind of bluesy flavour. I know that's probably about as much help as, a chocolate fire guard, but I will do some more in-depth stuff on that. I'd love to get more into it right now, but I'm just conscious of the time. So let's have a look. Short scale, Stingray, cheap, sterling, Right. No, I haven't tried one, Mike. I'm sure it's great. It is. I guess it is what it is. I mean, Stingrays and P basses, to my mind, I'm going to get shot down here. The sound comes from some purple. That's it. The sound comes from the pickup, right? Stingrays, the sound is the pickup and the preamp, the electronics. And you can put that pickup in almost anything in the right place, in relation to the bridge, and you'll get a Stingray tone. If you played it, if you recorded on it and played it to someone, what bass is this? People in the know would say, that's a Stingray. P basses are the same. Anything with a P bass pickup can sound like a P bass. And so for me, it's one of those kind of instruments where, like, people have come to me, students, with those really cheap, Stingray copies, and you put a preamp in them, and they sound like any Stingray. They sound great, So I'm sure, Mike, that those cheap sterling short scales sound fantastic, but it is a competitor to my SWB1 bass, and before long I will actually be putting. I'm only joking. I will be putting a Sting. At some point, I'll put a Stingray pickup in one of those guys in an SWB1. I keep asking Stephen Chown. You're not there, Stephen, are you? To send me a blank body if you can, or a body without and I need to make one because I need that Stingray tone in my arsenal. I've actually got a bass here that I borrowed. Hang on. That does a cracking job of that Stingray tone. This is the kind of pickup I'm talking about. That guy. All right, so that's a Warwick, and it's a lovely thing, actually. It's an FNA, yeah. And, it's so Stingray. It's nuts. And I borrowed that because of one of the private lessons I was doing. The guy wanted to look at some Louis Johnson stuff. It's Stomp. The solo section in Stomp. And we were looking at it, and I thought, I've got to play something with a Stingray pickup in it. And so I borrowed that. Right, what we got? So, right, yeah. Niall, he's asking about the cool plans for the channel. Yeah. So yeah. Let me just kind of talk about that. Oh, someone's done a super chat. Thanks very much for that. if anybody's feeling generous, you can just click on the little dollary thing at the bottom and send the channel. That's me, I guess. A little donation, but you know, it's very cool. Anyway, let's have a look. Love the Jackson. Yeah, cheers. So right, okay. We are getting short of time. I'd like to keep these to about an hour. So let me just kind of like summarize the stuff that's going on, that's ongoing. So yeah, EP is available. I've pinned the link in the live chat, so you can pre-order it there. We're only days almost away from that actually being physically produced now. But if you pre-order it using that link today, you will get the digital version of the EP. As soon as I see the email, I'll just fire it off to you. So that's cool. Also, there's a final single available too. I'm trying to get the shine off that. There you go. Look at that. So this is not what you'll get if you kind of buy the single. This is a test pressing, and it's the most cool thing that's ever happened to me. So this is actually a double A side, or will be a double A side. And those grooves, that's actually my song. I can't actually believe it. So this is a test pressing. I got 5 of these through, and the idea is that you check the test pressings, or I do, you know, and once I'm happy, once all 5 play correctly, there's not anything glaring out that's wrong in each one, then I give the green light, and these are going to be produced, double A side, in blue vinyl with a picture sleeve, and I might be able to get some of the artwork up on the screen. Let me just try that now. One sec. I must first go here. So yeah, so while I'm doing it, I struggle to talk and do stuff, but I'm going to have a go while I do this. I can't do it. Hang on. Give me a second, guys. All right, so this is some of the artwork for the EP. Sorry, the CD. Yeah, the CD booklet. That's going to be like the front and back of it. And let me see if we can get the other pages up. One sec. Sorry about this. Just going through my messages. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Here we go. So these are this is the label for the actual vinyl record, which is pretty cool. And that's the cover. That's the picture sleeve for the vinyl. So yeah, so that's all happening over on that link that's in the chat, and then just getting back finally to the channel and where I'm going with it. Yeah, I'm going like all the way, you know, like to the top, Johnny. You know, like to the toppermost of the poppermost, was it that Lennon said? But yeah, it's my main focus now, and like I say, did anyone actually have any thoughts on the time? I'm going to be doing a video every single week, unless something terrible happens, of course. And Sunday's going to be the day for sure. I've got 4 p.m. UK time in my head. I'm just wondering what thoughts are on that. I mean, I have to choose a time anyway, but what do you think? I mean, there's people here now, so you know. Or do you think like early evening would be better? You know, if you were given the choice, would early evening on a Sunday be a better choice? Let's see. See if anybody has any thoughts on that. Right, okay. So, okay, Anthony, yeah, it might be an idea to take us through the bass on the 4 tracks. That's a good idea, and that's probably something that I should do. Maybe I should do that in either a future live stream or video. So let's have a look. A lot of Rush lately. Yep. Geddy Lee, phenomenal. someone, yeah. See if there's anything I missed. I think that's about everyone caught up with, unless anyone for his good for UK and yeah, an hour is good. I agree. It wants to be about an hour. Yeah, 4 p.m. works for me. I'm rubbish by the evening. Right? Yeah. I guess if I keep it short and sweat, well, keep it to an hour, then everyone can do want to get some tea at the end of it. It's a bit early for the Americans, but this is a nice time. All right, okay. All right, so I think we'll stick with that. I don't think there's anything more to add. Let me just have a sip of coffee and see if that works. One sec. Oh yes. Yeah, one thing that I did want to announce is that I'm going to be doing some, along with all the bass videos, definitely going to be, I think I did mention this at the beginning, I'm going to be doing some sort of talk-throughs of how to actually make online videos, how to live stream, just how to do this basically with the setup I've got, because it's really, this is probably a little bit more complicated than most will want, but this kind of way of working is actually very simple once it's set up. So I'm going to be talking about that, how to do lighting and stuff, because the lighting makes a huge difference. Check this out, right? If I just kill the lighting, one sec. It's not working. There you go. Hang on. So, that's just like putting a light on in the room, right? And then, with a bit of thought, you get this. So. Drum roll. Come on. There you go. Yeah, So it makes a massive difference. And you can have quite a cheap camera, for example, and make really good looking videos with just a little bit of thought on the lighting. So there we go. Right, I'm going to do one. I feel like I'd like to just sit here and chat for hours, but, we got to keep each other wanting and all that. So thanks for everybody who dropped by. Thanks for your support ongoing with the channel. Do, if you haven't already, hop over to that link in the live chat that's pinned to the Indiegogo campaign and see if there's anything you're interested in there. Like I say, it is a pre-order. You'll click on it and it's like pre-order. But if you go for, say, you can just go for the digital download. It's ready to go. So you will get that within hours, if not, tomorrow morning. But as soon as I see the email come through, I'll send it out. Cool as. Well, thanks everybody for dropping by. Cheers, Lee. Thanks. I can't speak. Must be tea time. All right, guys. Thank you very much indeed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.